guess
There you are. Wait. This is the way I like Ericka the best when I can't hear her. You know, it's the old thing they say about like brokers and salesmen. Well, how can you tell when they're lying? When their lips move, right?
When their lips are moving. Hey, I'm a woman, okay? I can't help it.
No, I wasn't accusing you of lying, and I wasn't accusing women of lying. Don't get me in trouble with half the country, okay? I didn't say that. I didn't do that.
I'm a misogynist.
You're a misogynist. You're a misogynist? What are you misogynist?
A misogynist. I'm an istophobe, Robert. It's true.
What is
and that's what happens. An istophobe is that's what we all are, right? Because if you're white, you were born with a virus in your brain, according to what's that guy from CNN? The black guy from CNN who said we all have a virus in our brain because Van Jones. If you're white, you have it's not your fault. You have a virus in your brain that makes you a racist.
Oh, please. Can we move on, please? Okay.
Let's do it. Let's move on.
All right. By the way, I want to go back to what we talked about last show, which was we said democracy under siege. Well, not only now is democracy under siege, but freedom is under siege, according to the president. So the president goes to the gridiron dinner, and the gridiron dinner is another sort of journalistic dinner where you get to rub elbows with all the people who are supposed to be doing their job and criticizing you and being and holding accountable people of power. But of course, they all rub elbows and that. So he basically says the following: freedom is under assault. Freedom is under assault. The freedom to vote, the freedom to choose, and so much more. The lies of the 2020 election, the plot to overturn, to embrace January 6th insurrection pose the greatest threat to our democracy since the American Civil War.
Wow.
So this is from a guy who, my IQ is bigger than, smaller. My IQ is, well, this is smaller, but my IQ is bigger. Never mind. I'm not allowed to say that.
No, he called somebody else fat during the last campaign for criticizing him.
But this is still under the heading of get Trump, right? Anything to get Trump.
Yeah.
And like Trump or don't like Trump, right? This is all about getting Trump, and no rules matter. The lies don't matter. That he graduated, first in his class, or he graduated with 40 more credits, or he got this award, all of which, by the way, the news media, the news media has already shown to be a total freaking lie.
Total, he plagiarized speeches. He lied about his background and his credentials.
Right.
I mean,
but here we are again, that America is, freedom's under assault. And yet you juxtapose that to, you see what the Media Research Center came out with their study on Google and their interference in elections?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Right. Over 41 times over 16 years that they have skewed elections.
They literally proved essentially that Google, right. Again, where's my tinfoil hat, Robert? So I'm the conspiracy theorist. I'm the crazy one for saying that there's election interference happening. But now people have actually proved it. It's now proven. As if we didn't know before anyway.
So look, it confirms what we already knew. But the question is, who really cares, right? And again, folks, let's connect the dots here, right? You have the case being brought to the Supreme Court, that Supreme Court Justice, I always get that word. So it's Ketanji Brown Jackson, KBJ, or is it KJB? It's KBJ?
KBJ. Yep.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. No disrespect.
You know how I remember it? There's an old song. What is it? That's not Black Eyed Peas. Who is that? Outkast. Outkast does this song, and it's called Miss Jackson, and it goes, "Sorry, Miss Jackson, ooh, I am for real." So her name totally goes to the beat.
My idea of an old song would be like Bing Crosby, or
oh yeah,
Frank Sinatra. Okay,
no, we're talking like 90s.
Old is relative. So, and
then some person actually did a whole song in tribute to her to the beat of Outkast's Miss Jackson.
I don't think I want to hear that. If you haven't had
the pleasure of watching it, feel free to Google it, ladies and gentlemen, as you're.
But I want to go back to this theme of freedom or democracy under assault, because it is under assault. But Donald Trump is not the one that's assaulting democracy or freedom, right? He's politically incorrect as hell. He speaks, in hyperbole, as we both know. But
Mm-hmm.
you have the Supreme Court justice whose worldview, right, Justice
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, whose worldview is that the First Amendment hampers the federal government unnecessarily. And it's all over the media. I'm sure everyone's been seeing it. You now have Google, who has, now there's proof, right, that Google has
Mm-hmm.
interfered with elections.
Yep.
And then you have the likes of, even the obscure things. You saw what happened with the fire department of New York when they were swearing in the first black chaplain, and all the firemen were booing, right? And then they started.
And now they're trying to find the firemen, whoever was in the crowd who was booing. They're trying to root them out so they can fire them.
No. The term was we're hunting them down. The actual term that Laura Kavanaugh, who's the commissioner, which, by the way, so you have a commissioner in New York City, a fire commissioner, who has never served as a firefighter. Excuse me, never served as a firefighter. So, you want respect from the ranks, especially, in the fire department, in the, men in blue in New York City.
Yeah. Anybody who puts their life on the line. Yeah.
Somehow I don't think this woman is going to rush into a burning building. But here's the point. The term she used that they're now walking back is we're going to hunt them down. Now, I come from a place that words have power.
Yes.
Right? To define and create your reality.
Something.
And if you're going to use the word hunt them down, what does that tell you about their perspective?
They hate us. Right? Over and over again on this show, Robert, we have demonstrated how much the people in the administration, these leftist liberals, they hate us. They hate freedom. They hate America. They hate American values. And this is just more proof of it, right? We talked about the federal document that showed that, Christians and conservatives are a threat to America, right? If you have any traditional American values, if you have Judeo-Christian values, they hate you and they want you gone because you cannot be controlled, you cannot be manipulated, and they can't have that.
Well, and that was the whole thing with the vaccine, right? And again, to be clear, if someone wanted to get vaccinated, I fully support their right to make their own decision. I have no issues with getting a vaccination. The issue I had was with being forced or told to get it for the good of all, right? For the safety of all by the federal government. But I want to go back to this whole Google thing because Google does control the earth, right? I mean, that's they're the big power.
Big time.
When you go back and folks search up, because if you're not reading the news, they're going to bury this article. And the article is that Google is documented 41 times over 16 years, and everything from the McCain-Obama election to the Obama-Romney election, and even lesser down elections with Tulsi Gabbard, right? Last cycle, when Tulsi Gabbard was on the Democratic podium for the debates for the Democratic primary, right? She ends up having her moment. She ends up being the most searched name right after the debate. They took it all down. They took down all references to her, right? Yep. That's what we're talking about of skewing the election. And don't forget, folks, if you listen to one of the earlier shows, there's also documented proof that the government had the ability to reach into these companies, these search engine companies, and modify the algorithms.
Yep.
Right. Now, it doesn't mean that
modifying what gets blocked, what gets highlighted, what can go viral.
Now, the government doesn't reach into the company and government turns the toggles. They get to the people in the company and tell them to modify the algorithms. That's what we're talking about.
Yes. And that is illegal, y'all. It is illegal. The government cannot control the speech of its citizens. You do not get to censor people. According to our Constitution.
Let's be really clear. The term legal has to be a court of law, has to determine it's legal or not. And right now, obviously, the courts are weaponized. But so you go through all of this crap, and crap rolls downhill. Am I allowed to say the word crap? Crap rolls downhill. So there was also this case, by the way, and this is close by you. So are you anywhere near? Let's see, where is this place? Castle Hills, Texas.
That's a good question.
So Castle Hills, they put this woman in jail. the town puts her in jail because she was trying to get another elected official. She gets elected to the board. Let's see if I got a name here. Let's see. Texas grandmother thrown in jail, and her name is Gonzalez, I believe.
I'm trying to
Yes, Miss
remember her last name.
Gonzalez, right? Sylvia Gonzalez runs for the board, gets elected to the board. They want to replace the city manager, Ryan Rapoli, right? And so they pass a non-binding resolution. After the meeting, the mayor goes, says, "Where's the petition?" She says, "I don't have it." "Oh, is it in your folder?" And then she gives it to him. And then a couple months later, there's a warrant out for her arrest. And rather than just sort of a fine, they actually take her in handcuffs and they put her in jail because she was trying to get she was keeping corporate documents. And this is Texas law, right? Usually used for drug, and forgers and drug, pushers. But this is also before the Supreme Court because the Castle, whatever their town is. What's the town? What's the town again? Castle Hills.
Yeah, it's just outside of San Antonio.
So it's right by you somewhere. It's claiming immunity, government immunity, and the courts are going to decide it. But here's my point in this: crap does roll downhill. When you look at what the federal government does and gets away with, then of course you're going to start seeing these egregious violations of civil rights or First Amendment rights, right, at the low state level.
Yeah,
right. That's what you're seeing, folks. So
it is what you're saying. And back to your monologue, just to kind of tie it all together, the general welfare. So Article 1, Section 8, Clause 1 says the Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, blah, 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 for the common defense and general welfare. That is the term that these folks are using to impose a lot of these laws, to try to crack down on people who are trying to fight against government overreach, like this lady Gonzalez. I mean, it is absolutely outrageous all of the ways socialism is creeping and sliding into our government and being pushed by the people watching. And so socialism, it is a big lie, y'all. And one of the organizations fighting against it is the American Center for Education and Knowledge.